council as a whole committee meeting for May 10th, 2022 to order at 7:01 p.m. All members of council are present except for Councilwoman Kroniak, who's absent and excused. All members of the administration are present. Is anyone reporting this meeting as a citizen to the public? Can you please identify yourself? Please follow attendees and others are being recorded. Being no one, the city of East Lake is recording this meeting. Under legislation proposed with legislation number 05-10-01, the resolution supporting designating May 2022 as Lupus Awareness Month in the city of East Lake and declaring an emergency.
Just bringing up that it is going to be awareness of the month, and we do this resolution every year.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Are there any questions for this? All right, seeing none, we'll move on to legislation number 05-10-02, an ordinance amending section 110.10, committees of the codified ordinances of the city of East Lake to remove stormwater management committee and read as such and declare an emergency. We discussed with the ordinance committee, basically just housekeeping for like moving the stormwater committee to the WPCC, removing the liaison.
So just, again, I know a few of you council people have asked about, there's still some committees on the roll, and my council president, we eliminated a couple, and there's still a few on there, especially another brought up about the recreation committee. So the recreation committee used to meet with all the leagues, now it's like the leagues that have gone out on their own. Kevin still talks to the leagues, but the formal committee was disbanded when we lost 17 employees we had in the service department that made up the recreation committee. So that was the reason that was or not possible. I was speaking, but that was cleaned up too eventually.
Any questions from there? Okay. All right, seeing none, we'll move on to legislation number 05-10-03, an ordinance amending section 770.11, operational requirements for medical marijuana dispensaries of codified ordinances in the city of East Lake to add section F and read as such and declaring an emergency.
This is the one that was discussed on the committee. I know there's some objection, and Councilman Spotton did raise a question about the little tiny portion of N2 that applies on defined years of B1 properties that might cause people to want to look at it a little closely. So you could have hold in the committee, we could remove that N2, you could put it on the first reading, you could go to a vote, you could how you want to handle it. You can take that if you want to take a vote in council as a whole, remove N2 from the draft, then I can revise the draft and consider it at that time. We have the ability to take that vote from.
Okay, so we would be removing the, we'd be adding one to it, correct? Removing one. Okay. That is our motion. We can do that now. Is there a motion to,
so they would only be allowed in that region? Just
so then would just be allowed in three.
That'd be a lot better.
I mean, if you want me to work up the draft, and I share it with you. To the back. So you can do that. Yeah, you want to
Which is what
The new thing I'm being council chambers, that's what I'm on.
right, but the M3 is just Lakewood Curtis.
Well, M3 is major
Lakewood Curtis and CEI property.
that's where we go. Yeah, Curtis. Or
We have a motion to amend the legislation and bring it before council for next meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
So please call the roll.
Mr. Fox?
Yes.
Mr. Overby?
Yes.
Mr. Queen?
No.
Ms. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Summer?
yes.
I have some questions, so can I just get with you?
Oh, yeah.
We can put it up first reading, like the next meeting, we'll go on some time to, you can ask any questions you need to ask, and we can, push moving forward over the course of the next reading. Okay. All right, we'll move on to legislation number 05-10-04, a resolution authorizing the Director of Finance to advance funds from said funds to be advanced from Fund 101 General Fund in the amount as listed in Fund number 207 State Grants Fund and declaring an emergency. Michelle?
Thank you. We have a lot of grants in the state grant fund, whether they be from OPNR, actually the Captain Stadium of Life portion of it is in that category. Therefore, because it's on our grants on our reimbursement basis, we're running a little cash to try to advance it, which is, again, just a temporary loan for $225,000, so we have the ability to pay the bills timely and then get reimbursed.
Any questions for the finance director? Okay. Seeing none, we'll move on to legislation number 05-10-05, a resolution authorizing the director of the mayor and director of finance to enter into an agreement with Brighton Software Incorporated for services rendered to the East Lake Service Department for the term of 36 months as follows. Amount of $15,602.27 for the period ending April 30th, 2023, $22,051.21 for the period beginning April 2023, and $23,374.28 for the period beginning April 2024, and declaring an emergency. Wishes up. Sorry.
Thank you. I'm going to jump it over to Kevin because it's his thought first.
Okay.
Thank you. So it's software that will allow us to more easily and quickly track our orders, work complete, the maintenance records, and inventory, among other things.
Any questions for the service director? All right. Seeing none, we'll move on to legislation number 05-10-06, a resolution authorizing the director of the mayor and director of finance to purchase a walking and saw as requested by the service department for the amount of $30,026 from East Independent Supply Incorporated and declaring an emergency. Mr. Costello, would you like that again?
Sure. This is a concrete asphalt saw used for cutting the roads as we do our repairs or catch basins. We're doing catch basin repairs and what it is.
And this is already, we did it in the budget, no extra cost.
Any questions for the mayor or the service director? Okay. Seeing none, we don't have any legislation pending, and we'll move on to miscellaneous, which is the swearing in of Brian Colbeck to the fire department. I'll turn the meeting over to the chief.
Thank you, Mr. President. So, as always, I always overextend myself with councils as they're meeting. They're always very gracious to be able to have these, our swearing in, more of a formal ceremony in our promotional process. So again, I know that I probably asked too much, but I definitely appreciate every time to be granted the ability to do that. So, I would like to say a couple words before we get to the swearing in. So, Brian comes to us via Mentor, city of Mentor. He has some part-time experience with 3 fire departments. During his interview process, the one thing that kind of stood out with Brian was they brought a lot of energy. So again, for a department, having young people come in with lots of energy, new ideas is an important part of our growth as we go through the process. So again, for those who aren't part of our world, we're starting to see a change in the amount of candidates that we see coming up to the fire departments. There was a time in this community where we would give out 100 applications and have to cut it off at 100. But nowadays that's not the fact. So we had 10 people take our test, and before we could actually start the process, we lost 3. 2 took jobs somewhere else, and 1 had to leave for medical reasons. So I really need 7 candidates. So what we have to do from the fire side is, you know, when we vet, when we're looking for candidates, we have to step our team up a little bit, and not that we never really put a lot of effort in getting candidates, but now we have to really button down and say, okay, what are the things that we're actually looking for in people? So to be able to get, you know, Brian, you know, out of those 7 people, we feel very fortunate that we were able to do so. And I think that, you know, I hope that his energy continues and, you know, he continues to thrive. We always tell everybody when we get new firefighters, you know, our promise to them is we'll do whatever we can to make sure that they have a good career here, and that they're actually able to do the things that they want to do. And all we ask back is to do everything they got, kind of thing. Just as a side note, Brian will be assigned to B shift under Battalion Chief Kovacic. Brian Kowat, and then our next hire is going to be Tyrus Kovac. So I think that we're going to have some things to work out, kind of deal. So anyway, again, I definitely, we're very excited to have Brian with us. We look forward to having him, having a long career with us. So let him, if you want to bring your family, Brian, you can do that.
Want to come up, Mom and Dad?
Yeah, come on up too. I was going there.
My mom, my dad, my girlfriend, to everybody. I just want to say thank you to them for sticking with me this past year, working part-time and going through my school, so thanks, guys. Thank you. Thank you.
I, Brian Colott,
Do
solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
honestly, and impartially
honestly, and impartially
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of the office of
firefighter
paramedic
paramedic
of the City of Eastlake,
of the City of East Lake,
Lake County,
County,
Ohio,
Ohio,
for the term beginning May 9, 2022,
for the term beginning May 9,
and during my continuing set office.
and during the continuous head office. Thank you.
Gonna have to work on that.
So those that are here for Brian, like I said, we're gonna have a small reception over at the station. There's some cupcakes and stuff. Go over there and enjoy yourself. Get your family to the store. And again, I really appreciate it. It means a lot to us. So thank you.
please call the roll.
Here.
Mr. Patton?
Here.
Ms. Schmidt? Here. Mr. Oberste?
Here.
Mr. Senick?
Here.
Mr. Meyer?
Here. Is there a motion to approve the agenda for the regular council meeting of May 10, 2022? Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Patton?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt? Mr. Senick? Mr. Oberste?
Yes.
Mr. Senick?
Yes.
Mr. Meyer?
Yes, the motion is carried, the agenda is approved. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of the regular council meeting of April 26, 2022? Move. Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Patton? Mr. Oberste?
Yes.
Mr. Senick?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt? Yes. Mr. Senick? Mr. Meyer?
Yes, the motion is carried, the minutes are approved. Our next scheduled council local meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, May 24th, 2022 at 7 p.m. with the regular council meeting immediately following the adjournment of the council hall committee meeting. Don't believe we've had any committee meetings since the last council meeting. That being said, we'll move on to recognition of policy. Couple individuals who would like to address council. First one being David Dorsey. Mr. Dorsey, can you come up and state your name and address for the record, please?
I'm David Dorsey, 946 340 Ninth Street. I'm here because I have a concern about the increase of slumlords taking over houses and renting them out to people who just don't take care of the property. I've been battling neighbors for a couple of years, and I found that I've stood alone quite a bit. You know, most of the neighbors that are also complaining don't want to say anything because they've seen how these individuals have placed calls that led the police to my house over accusations that obviously had to be investigated, but it was very troubling that I had to go through what I considered a little war for a few. I have neighbors that are actually garbage picking and placing whatever they get in the backyard, throwing tarps over. And we have a street that has a lot of people that really take care of their properties. And there are two specific places that have this, have tenants that pretty much just, well, one on my neighbors, they just don't take care of the property. On the other side of the street, we have a property owner who doesn't take care of the property that probably he should be taking care of. And the fact that my neighbors have seen what I've gone through, you're not going to get these people to speak up. And I think it's really important that the city would actually enact some kind of restrictions for people who do rentals to maintain the property so that we don't have to go through this problem. We actually have to have the building department come out and clean piles of debris that were basically looking to turn into rat's nests because they were just piling leaves, twigs, and whatever they could in the yard. And it's not that I wasn't up for the fight, but I just felt I was all alone, and I don't think the fight I took on was going to be very fruitful if nothing happens. If we don't take control of what happens to these properties, because we have a senior population that when they die off, and I hate to use that term, generally their kids just sell the house to get whatever money they want or they can out of it. They don't care what happens to it, and that's where you get people that come in, buy it up cheap, and they want to turn it and just rent it and make money. And if nothing happens, I think this is something that's going to continue to spread throughout our city. And I just wanted to voice this concern because I really think it needs to get addressed. Again, there's not many people that are willing to take up the fight I did. I just felt like I was alone in this, and there's probably something the city can do together to make sure we live in a good, clean city, a city people want to move into. And I have nothing more to say. Thank you, Mr. President, thank you, council.
Thank you, Mr. Bruce. Second person who wishes to address council, Linda Notaro.
Correct.
State your name and address for the record.
Linda, 942-329.
They have
David is not alone. I live next door to David Anthony. I've lived in my home for 9 years. Loved it, raised my family here, don't have any, ideas of moving out of the city. I love my home. I don't feel that we should tolerate the filth that is on the other side of the doorstep. And I do mean filth. Their front porch is horrific. Their driveway, they actually took a snowplow and dug out the sides of the driveway, so it's just a mass of nothing but mud. The backyard is unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. Now, as Dave said, the city has come out to tonight. And they did an okay job. They didn't empty the whole thing, which we would love, but, they didn't do that. But 2 to 3 months later, we're faced with the same thing again. The landlord of this home has not been down to see the home for probably, 7 years, 10 years? He lives right on 91. He doesn't even care. All he cares about is the check that comes every month in the mail. This is from landlords. The house across the street is quite as bad. But there again, there's 2 men that own it. They just put lipstick on it. And those people, I think, do take care of the inside of the house. The ones on our side of the street, it is horrible. And I wish all of you in mass would just walk up one of our driveways and take a look. It's horrible. 49 years I've lived there and I'm faced with it, and it's sad. And I too called the building department, and they were very, very nice, pleasant to talk to. I think they did what they could, but there should be rules that a landlord has to take care of their property. And if they see that their property isn't being taken care of, they're going to have to get rid of those tenants. It's horrible. That's all I have to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Council. Anyone else who wishes to address council? Okay, seeing no one, we'll move on to legislation proposed. Will the clerk please read legislation number 05-10-01?
A resolution supporting and designating May 2022 as the Fifth Awareness Month in the city of East Lake and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring second reading to read in full?
So moved.
Is there a second? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt? No. Mr. Katsounis?
Yes.
Mr. Powell?
Yes.
Mr. Summers?
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt?
Move to adopt.
Is there a second? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Katsounis?
Yes.
Mr. Powell?
Yes.
Mr. Summers?
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
Yes, the motion is carried, the legislation is adopted. Will the clerk please read legislation number 05-10-02?
An ordinance amending section 110.10 permitted use of the codified ordinances of the city of East Lake to remove stormwater management committee and read as such and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring second reading to read in full?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Katsounis?
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Powell?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Summers?
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt? Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Justina?
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Spartan?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt? Yes. Mr. Senick?
Yes.
Mr. Meyer?
Yes, the motion is carried, legislation is adopted. Legislation number 05-10-03, will be placed on first reading.
An ordinance amending section 770.11, operational requirements for medical marijuana dispensaries of the codified ordinances of the city of East Lake to add section F and read as such and declaring an emergency.
And again, it's placed on first reading, discussed with you. Next to our county council. Will the clerk please read legislation number 05-10-04?
A resolution authorizing the Director of Finance to advance funds, with said funds to be advanced from Fund 101, General Fund, in the amount as listed, to Fund 207, State Grant Fund, and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate readings and readings? Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Spartan?
Yes.
Mr. Senick?
Yes.
Mr. Senick?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt? Yes. Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Meyer?
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt?
Move to adopt.
Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Spartan?
Yes.
Mr. Senick?
Yes.
Mr. Senick?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt? Yes. Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Meyer?
Yes, the motion is carried, the legislation is adopted. Will the clerk please read legislation number 05-10-05?
A resolution authorizing and directing the mayor and director of finance to enter an agreement with Brightly Software Incorporated for services rendered to the East Lake Service Department for the term of 36 months as follows. Amount of $15,602.27 for the period ending April 30th, 2023. $22,061.21 for the period beginning April 1st, 2023. And $23,374.28 for the period beginning April 1st, 2024, and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate readings and readings in full? Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Spartan?
Yes.
Mr. Senick?
Yes.
Mr. Justina?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt? Yes. Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Meyer?
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt?
Move to adopt.
Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Spartan?
Yes.
Mr. Senick?
Yes.
Mr. Justina?
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Meyer?
Yes, the motion is carried, the legislation is adopted. Will the clerk please read legislation number 05-10-06?
A resolution authorizing and directing the mayor and director of finance to purchase a walk-behind saw as requested by the service department for the amount of $30,026 from East Cuttings Equipment and Supply Incorporated and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate readings and readings in full? Is there a second? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Senick?
Yes.
Mr. Justina?
Yes.
Ms. Spartan?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt? Yes. Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Meyer?
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt? Is there a second? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Senick?
Yes.
Mr. Justina?
Yes.
Mr. Spartan?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt? Yes. Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Meyer?
Yes, the motion is carried, the legislation is adopted. We have no unfinished business, we have no new business. We will move on to our administrative reports. Our first report is from our mayor and safety director, Dennis Morgan.
Thank you, Mr. President. Welcome to this evening's meeting, everyone. I appreciate both your comments on the house. I have been at the house, between Dave, myself, and Randy, we've been trying to get different things. We try to get things abated, try to get them, because when we go to court, it even takes longer. So we try to get that taken care of, beforehand. Again, I feel that you guys have to live next to that. I know you work on email, nothing else, back and forth, so it's all. So yeah, we're trying to figure out a situation or plan to try to do that. Even if we would go to the rental inspection, even if the landlord didn't do what we're supposed to do again, we have to go through the court procedure. And, once we go to court, and hopefully you guys know, they just drag on. We've had person off of Roberts, we took to court, and then they should keep getting extensions because, the court's going to go and do, the bigger cases and always do continually. So, again, I appreciate both the comments and I'll continue to work on that.
Excuse me, Mayor, could we just fine them people for whatever kind of debris they have, so then they clear it up, so you don't have to go to court? get your $25, $35 a head for every time you go there?
No, we can't do something like that right now. We just have to go by the ordinance.
Okay. Just curious.
Okay, and then Carolina will meet with the county, county finance director Mark Matus and Jason Boyd on June 1st. So we can, as Carolina brought up, so both things, the $4.3 million we have to put up front and then get reimbursed. We're open to set up something. Once we take money and pay, they get reimbursed right away. We usually do that with stormwater, so we're open and we can work that out with the county on that. Divine Street Quarter Meeting, May 15th at 5:30 to 7. Hoping people come from behind their keyboard and come to an in-person meeting to put their input in Divine Street. Also, the new development up to 12 houses that are sold in that development, they continue to work getting taps ready all for the 32 houses there. The flags will go up on May 21st at 9 a.m. Memorial Day service will be on May 30th at 11 a.m. Dave on duty to continue to meet with essential businesses. Again, that's another slow process, especially when they're trying to deal with purchasing land. Want to put a big thank you out to service departments for all the asphalt work they've done and will continue to do throughout the summer. Some of the projects on St. Lawrence and Riverdale and Pinehurst and that we will continue. I think Kevin said we have 30 hog outs that we to do. So we're going to continue to work through the roads throughout the summer to get better fixes for all of those. And that concludes my report.
Any questions for that?
Yeah, after they do all these roads and houses there, and all the, from the big trucks, when you got your swales in the roads, are you guys gonna fix the roads from there or no? Cause I know what pipe comes out of those houses and the development there on 332nd, and the roads are already fumed. Are we gonna fix the roads after this? We're gonna put these new houses there or no?
They have certain requirements they have to do in the CT, and the group will monitor that for that, yes. There's an issue where they're putting the new schools, where Washington was, or outside of New Holland, they are repaired as part of that road, yes.
Okay.
We'll move on to our fire chief, Ted Wiggins. Oh, sorry, Richard.
But I think somebody asked about the Vine Street meeting, that went to the first one. Do you know if it's kind of the same?
No, it's different. It's going to go from what was brought up in the first meeting.
Okay.
We had another stakeholders meeting with the group that the cities have signed for us, and there were some other things, so this will be a different meeting. And by the third meeting, everything will put together for the final suggestion.
Okay. Move on to our fire chief, Ted Wiggins.
Thank you, Mr. President. Again, I definitely appreciate everybody allowing that swearing in to happen. Really not much in the formal report. We continue to do some training. I know I told you last time we got on the lake. We have been. Next couple of days, we'll finish up that kind of training. And reports I'm getting back. Well, they couldn't be better reports, but we need a lot of reps out there. But again, I appreciate it very much. And I'm looking for questions.
Any questions for the chief? Seeing none, thank you, Chief. And as always, police chief of all of them. We'd like you, we greatly appreciate that. With that, we'll move on to our police chief, Larry.
As far as complaints, always feel free to call the police department, send me an email. We don't say, hey, we got a complaint from a specific person or address. We just, and our officers are monitoring unlicensed motor vehicles and other things that we can control. The things that aren't under our control go to the building department, and they work together when we have complaints that come from the mayor to see who handles what. You know, as far as a new law for every, whether it's for rentals or for people owning. In 30 years, I've seen some renters that really take care of their property and homeowners really don't. I don't know if there's a specific formula, but the laws we have already, I think, cover all of the, I mean, the issue isn't that the people are renting, the issue is that they're not keeping their, property to the level of their neighbors. So, you know, with, again, David, I will continue to work with, each other to make sure that everything's handled that can be. I know I share the same street with Mr. Costello, we've had, I mean, it's every neighborhood, there's no doubt. And, you know, the more, I know the, first guy that spoke, nice clean yard, and the more attention we pay to our own property, the more other properties that aren't at the same level stand out. So we do empathize with the situation, but definitely call us, let us deal with the issue. Sometimes we've used different methods as well to try to get people encouraged to at least make things more tolerable. So you can go out and enjoy your garden in the summer, not have to look at some stuff like that. So we do understand. That's all I got.
Any questions from the chief? Seeing none, thank you, chief. We'll move on to our chief building official, Dave Brown.
I'll just add that the residents that are here, they're absolutely right, here to jump. And, we've tried to go after the renter or the owner. He's out of town, he doesn't care. We've abated in the past, like they said, but then you get into cost, and it's just a never-ending cycle with this house. But I do agree with them, and I feel bad for what they have to put up with, and we are going to look into it again, and see if we can get some improvement for it. But, when we have worked with the police department in the past, so we'll, as the chief said, we always do that. So we'll continue to work on it. But I know that may not make you feel good, but I understand.
Well, I understand where you're going there as well.
Yeah, we understand who's around, we truly do.
We'll try
But
to.
our property values are way down because of this, you know? It's a crime, you've seen it. Yeah, you've seen it.
Have you seen it lately, they dug up a well next to their driveway, where they're dragging mud out when it rains. I ride a motorcycle, that's not a very safe condition for me. I have to go the other way on the street if I want to get out, because I don't want to be laying on the road either.
The only thing I would add is like the chief said, don't like entertain them, don't get into languages and, you know, shouting matches.
No, that doesn't happen.
Could be escalated into something more, and we don't want,
We don't want that.
that's it.
Well, the problem is, my wife has taken a lot of abusive language.
That's when you get a call.
Well, no, that was the call. That's just normal when the building department would come out, he'd be out calling her the bird, calling her, things I should not say here, or will not say here. And we have to talk with the chief before, keep our cool, let them do what we can to try to, if we can capture them on camera, we would, but maybe it's a little bit.
Well, we'll see what we can do to help you.
Thank you.
Right. In addition, if most of us carry a smartphone or a recording device, we have used that as evidence for disorderly conduct. And, we prefer to mediate and stop things before they happen. But if it does get to that level and you're trying to, maintain the peace, that's another option that we could add to the report, send it to the prosecutor, and possibly proceed from there.
Yeah. Well, there has been a level of peace for about a year. The problem is the conditions are starting to get worse. They did improve, but now it's starting to get worse. And my concern is any action taken at this point, it's just going to be blamed on me anyway. Even if someone else did complain, they're gonna start calling her names. He won't call me names, but, when I'm not home, and I have a job that takes me out of town sometimes, she's, she's by herself.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Lynn? Thank you, Mr. Lynn. We'll move on to our service director, Kevin Gonzalez.
I would like to thank council for the legislation passed that affects our department. It will be a great help. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for your kudos. We appreciate that, and I'll pass it along to the guys. We did have a goal to complete the senior center parking lot, and I'm happy to report that that's complete. As of today, it'll be straight by the end of the week. And I'm happy to report that that's all I have to report. But I'm looking for questions.
Are there any questions from the service director?
What are you happy that you're not reporting?
That the school board has contracted a company to take care of your ditch behind you.
I know you take care of it, I ain't worried about you.
I know. No, but they did, I saw them, talked to them, they are taking care of it. It's already contracted.
As long as it don't happen like the last guy that took his spot.
No, I talked to the school board, it's already contracted.
Thank
They're
you.
just waiting for the weather.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez. We'll move on to our city engineer, Tom White.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the council, Mr. Mayor. The only thing I have to report is the road program, as the mayor noted, is going rather quickly. It should be wrapped up here within a month, and hopefully, like you said, will be construction free, at least from the engineering side for the summer. With that, I'm looking for questions.
Any questions, Mr. White? Okay. Seeing none, we'll move on to our finance director, Caroline Trudell.
Thank you. As you may or may not have known, the west parking lot by the campus has been made. Again, those were fences that we put out, waiting for the reimbursement from the county because that was a grant. And, the roof, they will be starting the roof at some time soon. And again, half of that, approximately half of that should be covered under insurance. So if you see activity on the roof, that's basically what we're doing right now. In my return.
Any questions for the finance director? Seeing none, we'll move on to our water rate, Randy Klein.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'll get with Dave, I don't know all the addresses offhand of some of the prosecution, but to see if we can get criminal prosecution going on too. And Carol, that's correct, I exchanged an email today with the representative from Locust, who was finalizing that, saying that it's like $87,000. More questions?
Any questions for water? Seeing none, this meeting is adjourned at 7:45 p.m.
You're right about that. Sorry, buddy. You didn't see the end part.
Oh, I do it for